Find your inspiration from all sources of Star Wars. In this case, I'm inspired by Poe Dameron's black X-Wing pilot helmet. Look for things to take apart, as this will make painting your pod a lot easier. Start the project by taking the extra accessories apart and store them somewhere in an organized manner. You might need to label some parts so you remember where to assemble it back on the pod later. The extra accessories are now off. We can move on to the next step. Sand the surface of the pod. I use 200 grit sandpaper first, then followed by the 300 grit sandpaper. This is an important step so that your primer can stick to the surface of the pod better. Wipe the surface of the pod using a damp cloth. This will remove all the sanding dust that could ruin your paint spraying later. Start masking all the parts you do not want paint on. This is a very crucial process of painting your pod. Do not skimp on the step if you want a clean look to your pod. I use Tamiya masking tape and highly recommend them over the regular blue masking tape. These are all the paint colors and brand that I use. I like paint that dries fast, gives good coverage, and durable. If you live in a cold area, warm your paint before spraying. Do this by dipping them in hot water for about 5 minutes. Shake your paint can well before spraying. Shake for about 1 to 2 minutes. Prime the surface of the pod. Spray in thin passes about 12 inches away from the pod. Do not let it goop up or overspray. Wait in between passes and be patient. Let the primer dry for at least 8 hours. I usually leave them overnight. Now this part is optional. I like having a metallic base so that when, and there's no way around this, the pod gets bumped or damaged, the metallic paint will show instead of the original plastic color. Spray the metallic base like the primer in thin passes about 12 inches away. Let the metallic base dry for at least 8 hours. Sand the surface of the metallic pot lightly with a 300 grit sandpaper. This is the last chance for you to remove all bumps and imperfections before you paint it over with the main color. Wipe the surface of the pod using a damp cloth like before. Spray a second coat of the metallic base using the same spraying method. Let the second metallic base dry for at least 8 hours. Spray clear coat to protect the metallic base. I use a semi-gloss clear coat here so that the metallic color does not look dull. Let the clear coat dry for at least 8 hours. Spray the main color of your pod using the same method as before. In this particular case, I'm using black as Poe's helmet is black. Let the main color dry for at least 8 hours. While the pod is drying, prep the extra accessories for painting by sanding them with 300 grit sandpaper. Spray primer on the extra accessories. In this case, I will paint the extra accessories with black metal or gunmetal color. For any metallic finish, I like using black primer as a base. Let the primer dry at least 8 hours. Let's get back to the pod now. Mask all the details that you wanted to add on the pod. In this case, I am masking the red stripes, the white stripes, and the gray stripe. So in total I have 3 accent colors for this pod. You will paint these areas in sections, so organize the mask so you can take parts bit by bit. Spray the first accent color. For this pod, my first accent color is red. Let the accent color dry for at least 8 hours. Mask the first accent color before you start on the second accent color, then paint the second accent color. Let the second accent color dry for at least 8 hours. Mask the second accent color before you start on the third accent color, then paint the third accent color. Let the third accent color dry for at least 8 hours. Paint the extra accessories while the rest of the pod is drying. I am using Scale Colors Black Metal for the extra accessories, and I am using an airbrush to spray it on. Don't forget to let it fully dry before you touch them. Clear coat the extra accessories with the same method. Let the clear coat dry for at least 8 hours. Carefully remove all the mask from the pod. Don't worry about imperfections, as you can cover them with weathering later. Assemble all the extra accessories back to the pod. Admire your work, but it is not done yet. Take this chance to inspect all the imperfections and take a mental note on each of their locations so you can cover them with the weathering later. Add some weathering by using black paint and blot them on using foam. I will post a separate video later on different techniques on how to weather your pod. Don't forget to clear coat one last time and wait for it to dry for at least 8 hours. Add some finishing touches. For mine, I replicate some of the helmet's details on the side and top of the pod. Congratulations, you are now done. Enjoy your creation and get ready to visit Batu with your newly finished Droid Escape Pod.